from the floor of the 2025 NAB show. Brandon Costa from Sports Video Group. Thrilled to be in the South Hall, meeting with our friends at EVS, Alex Redfern, their CTO.
Hey.
Alex, thanks so much for taking the time.
No problem. Thanks for coming.
NAB.
Thank you. Happy NAB too.
Yeah, so you guys have a ton of stuff going on here at the show. One of the big messages is that it's more than replay. You guys have an asset management solution, this new feature within your replay system called Zoom.
Yeah.
Let's start with Zoom and let's get into the replay first, since it's your bread and butter. What are some of the big new things that are right there?
I think there's two key things on the replay. One is around the traditional replay, the replay that would have been in the trucks, in the venues, in the stadiums, that kind of thing. First, there's the Zoom solution, to your point. We're seeing an increase in the 4K super slow motion cameras, 4K 4X being used for zooming, for enhancement, for assessing whether the ball crossed the line, whether the foot was in or out. So we come up with a Zoom solution powered by the LSM-VIA and a touchscreen. It's got AI baked into it as well to really bring a nice solution to operators who are familiar with the LSM remote, who are familiar with the EVS interface, and they can zoom in. And honestly, it's super intuitive. It's pinch and zoom, rewind, pinch and zoom, and you've got your output. It's so easy to use, and that's the crucial thing really.
Sure.
Onboarding is super easy, so it's really nice. And then the second part is, we always had the XT-VIA. What we've always wanted to do is bring something to market just for those stadiums and venues, the colleges, the sports teams. So we've come up with the XT Venue.
Okay.
It's an XT server, it's what everyone knows and loves from EVS, that sort of that high level of reliability, of quality, of supporting all the codecs and things like that. But it's marketed at a price point with a feature set that's specific to stadiums and venues. So green front door, it's behind us somewhere, but there's the green front door for XT Venue that really opens up that stadium and venue market for us.
Nice. So the asset management solution is an interesting one as well. I mean, it makes sense. What are some of the things you guys are trying to expand upon there?
So where we've got the servers, obviously we acquire a lot of content. There's lots of inputs to those servers. We're acquiring all the content. We want to manage those assets. So for a long time we had IP Director, and that's like 20 years old, and it's about managing the content of the servers and nearline around the servers. But increasingly, that's a 20-year-old product. So we've been replacing it gradually with what we call VIA MAP. And VIA MAP is fully cloud compatible, it's microservices based, it uses all the right sort of technology, the right buzzwords for modern technology. But crucially it's web-based, so it means it can be accessed from anywhere. It has a much deeper metadata profile to it, so the metadata that we can add to things is far, far deeper. But really it's about opening up asset management to to a much wider scale. And then on top of VIA MAP we have Media Hub, and Media Hub then is about the content distribution. So where VIA MAP we acquire the content through the servers, we manage it in VIA MAP, we augment it with metadata logs, all that kind of thing. Media Hub is then for sort of rights owners to make available to their rights holders. People can log in, search for things, and download it, deliver it.
So in terms of clients that you guys are working with on a regular basis with these solutions, obviously you guys are pretty ubiquitous, big brand, but where are you finding yourself these days?
So MediaCeption is really interesting. It's used quite widely across the US. So almost every single major sports network, sports rights holder uses it. It's used by networks, it's used by leagues and federations. It gets used on the big sports events as well. The ones that we're not technically allowed to mention, but you'll be able to guess who they are. Those kind of things use those products and solutions. And we're seeing that transition now from IP Director to VIA MAP as we go. Yeah.
And that VIA MAP also working with some interesting potential end user clients there as well. Anything happening here at the show that you can tell us about?
VIA MAP, maybe not at the moment, but there's a few that are coming up. So there's a few, not necessarily North American customers, but for example, Al Jazeera will start to use it. We'll start to see some customers in Germany as well. So what we're seeing really is the client base is really expanding on that product, on the VIA MAP product specifically. Media Hub, SaaS-based, cloud-based offering. We have a lot of leagues and federations in Europe using that. We have CONCACAF in South America, they're using that as well. So between those MediaCeption range of products, there's a lot of people using our solution.
And then there's also Media Infra as well. Tell us a little bit about that and who are some of the people you're working with?
Yeah, Media Infra is a solution that came around from an acquisition a few years ago. We've sort of fully integrated it. It's another pillar to our portfolio. So it focuses on orchestration, glue, media control and orchestration, and then conversion as well. So bridging SDI to IP, conversion of those, all that kind of stuff. What's really interesting is there's a multi-viewer in there. So around the corner we've got the multi-viewer.
Nice.
We're seeing a real uptake from US truck customers. It offers a really nice SDI solution, and a lot of trucks are still SDI based. We talk about 2110, but a lot of trucks are still SDI based. So we've had our first 3 trucks from Game Creek. We'll take that. And again, it's about replacing SDI, but it gives them the flexibility that when they transition those to IP in the future, they have the ability to very quickly and easily switch them to IP.
Nice.
So that neuron view is really growing, and the market potential is really, really growing because there's still so much SDI out there, whatever we talk about.
Yeah, it's people underestimate that still at this point. All right, Alex, thanks so much for taking the time. Always a pleasure to see you.
Thank you very much.
Have a wonderful NAB show, and good luck the rest of the month.
Thank you. You too. Have a good one.
All right, for more of everything going on here at the 2025 NAB show, you can head on over to our website. We've got a big blog covering the show at sportsvideo.org.